Hello everyone, welcome. It's Monday. It's Monday the 17th of June. Welcome to the live stream. What a bloody week, man. Busy, busy, busy. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Welcome. Let's wait for everyone to get in. Have you got your teas ready, your coffees, your beers, whatever you're drinking? Lindsay, welcome. You're always the first one here. Oh, I forgot to get my hat. I need my hat. Camera's wonky. There we go. Down a bit. What a day it's been. We've been washing some like gutters, fascias, soffits, conservatories. We've done 2 properties today and it's absolutely ripped me off. Ripped me off. Let's have a look. Got a few things to go through today, actually. A few new products that I want to look at. Got a few quotes to look at as well. First week with Jakey, absolutely killing it. Jakey Smeltantino in the house. Right, Matt, how's it going? Where did you get the washdown nozzle from? It was from Pressure Washer Sales and Service in Evesham. I think they're on their Facebook page actually. I think they're on the marketplace. Potentially, you might be able to order them. Hang on, let me have a look. I think the link has expired. They might have changed it. No, I think it's gone. Ollie. Pressure it, welcome. New member already. Jeez. We've only just started. Will you calm down, please? Christ. Welcome, mate. How's it going? It's the rinse down nozzle, the water broom, is essentially just an oversized 65-degree nozzle. Slightly bigger orifice than what my machine requires, but it just pushes out more water than a standard nozzle, so it doesn't sort of pressurize it. It's not high pressure, low pressure, more water. I'm doing very well, thank you, mate. Evening, Jake, great video. Thanks, Chris. Welcome back. How you doing? How much was Jakey's new setup? I'm sworn to secrecy. I'm not really. I just don't want to tell you. Sorry. Matt has been putting in a huge amount of work behind the scenes, by the way. So Matt at Onyx is a new admin of the Discord group. Because if anyone here is part of the Discord already, you'd have probably already noticed the amount of detail and time that Matt puts into all his responses when he's on Discord. I'll be honest, I've been so busy these last few weeks. I'm struggling to find time for the Discord. I do try and pop in first thing in the morning, last thing in the evening to just try and catch up on any questions and stuff that people have got. But Matt just seems to be in here all the time. You ask one question, just like a small sentence, and he'll put in about 6 paragraphs of such detail for all these different topics. And he's really helping people out. So not only that, he's doing work behind the scenes to improve the Discord. We had a chat the other day about all his ideas that he's got. And he's also revamping the Smelt.club website, so that is now going to be like an all-in-one for those that don't know what I'm talking about. Look, this is just one of his responses today. Just monstrous. Just every time he pops up in the chat, he's just like, yeah, high effort. So Smelt.club is my little quoting tool. Very humble, my first little coding project. And it's alright, it does the job, it sort of works. But Matt showed me some of his stuff that he's been working on, and it's just much nicer, much easier to use. We're going to have multiple tabs for calculators, for different sorts of calculators to work out. I don't want to ruin it just yet, but it's going to be a total revamp. Much more functionality, much easier to use, and links to products and all that sort of stuff. It's going to be like an all-in-one place for all of you. Like, how much is this going to cost? What product do I need? It's all going to be here. So thank you in advance, Matt. Russ, welcome, mate. How you doing? Phoenix, what's the best way to clean rough casted walls? I tried a little hypo with washing up liquid and water, which did okay, but what would you recommend? A very light pressure wash first, just to get rid of the majority. But you'll notice if you use too much high pressure, you'll feel it as if you're sandblasting something. You'll feel the grit coming off of the surface. You're sort of degrading the front of the top of the surface if you use too high pressure. You'll feel like someone's sort of sandblasting you in the face a little bit. So that's what you want to avoid. If you want to order a specific product for it, Pure Seal do something called cling film, or is it hypo gel? That music's a bit loud, isn't it? They put out a new product the other day on their Instagram. Hang on 2 seconds. Because they used to do the Cling Film Pro, which is like a gloopy... Oh, Nuclear Gel Pro. Here we go. This must be the new Cling Film Pro. It's like a gloopy hypo. So it's good for like vertical surfaces and stuff. Stick to vertical surfaces. Thicker gel formula, so that would be your best bet to sort of keep it on there as long as possible. I guess you sort of paint it on with a paintbrush. Thin enough to spray but thick enough to cling. Okay. Or you could biocide them. But generally, very strong hypo normally brings them up quite well. Good evening, Squeegee Dave. Jet Washed, welcome. How you doing? How many people have seen Squeaky Clean Dave's new video? Can I get a show of hands in the chat? So Dave has just posted 2 videos, which are absolutely heart-wrenching. I was sort of welling up a little bit while I was watching, but it's so worth the watch. He's interviewed the father of someone who has been electrocuted while he was cleaning windows. It's these 2 videos here, part 1, part 2. I'm not going to go into too much detail because Dave's done a fantastic interview, and so it's just a very well made video. So if anyone has a bit of time over the next few days, go and watch those. And also if anyone feels like contributing to the GoFundMe that the family have set up. We'll do, I don't know the best way of doing this link actually. Give me a sec. I did a TikTok about identify the cables a while ago. Always cautious with this, but still can't help electricity jumping 3 meters. I know it was, it's a crazy story because it's like, how on earth can you avoid that if you're nowhere near them? Just signing into my PayPal. Okay, we're in. So they've already raised 32 grand, which is very good. How do I, first of all, how do I share? Copy the link. And then I'll put that in the chat if anyone wants it. Hey, why do I get a unique link? What does that do? So if anyone else wants to donate, I'll drop that. I'm gonna drop that link in the chat every so often throughout the evening. Let's get rid of that Moja logo. Hello, best way to get your first 10 customers. My friend Rich had some great success dropping leaflets. Be very sort of selective about the houses you're going to drop leaflets at. I should get him on actually to just chat about it again. But Richard from HS Pressure Washing. He wasn't on any social media. He didn't have a website. I don't think he was doing any sort of online marketing. He literally just printed some leaflets, had a walk around, looked for some big driveways, and just started posting them. And within like the first 2 weeks, he had about 4 jobs booked in. So I think more than that, maybe. This is some of his work from last week. But just get out there. What I did was friends and family. I was doing family jobs for a little bit cheaper than I would, than I would have ordinarily done them for like regular customers. And then I was just taking lots of before and after photos and sticking them on my Facebook page. How do you quote for the repointing? I'm quoting at around about between £10 and £15 per square meter, all in, including the cleaning. So say we've got 95 square meters all in. Say it's Indian sandstone, thin joints, good water pressure, good drainage, not too many black spots. Let's say about £12 per square meter. So that accounts for arriving at the property, grinding out all the joints, pressure washing the area, chemically treating, and then what I've been using recently, which I think is decent, I'm quite happy with it, is the Screwfix no nonsense jointing compound. The colour's nice. It goes in, like it moves around exactly like some of the more expensive brands do. I've used like 5 or 6 different brands at this point, and I can't tell the difference between this one and one of the more expensive ones. So it's these here. And the more you buy, the cheaper it gets as well. So that's also a bonus. They do the light sand and the grey. Hi Jake, thanks for getting back to me today. I've got a few questions for you. My surface cleaner has 25-degree tips, and the instructions say I shouldn't go bigger, as it might not allow it to spin properly. What are your thoughts? I was wanting to put 40 degree on. I mean, what do you intend on cleaning? And what sort of machine have you got? I can't imagine 40-degree tips. When it says don't go bigger, are you sure they mean a bigger degree and not a bigger orifice of the hole of the jet? Because there's 2 measurements on these jets. There's 25-degree, 40-degree, 65-degree, whatever you want in terms of the spread, the fan spread, and then there's also the orifice size, which is determined by the flow rate and pressure of your machine. I was looking at getting into like traditional repointing, but I don't know where to begin with it, and I'm scared. What the hell? Repo, man. Repoing. I've typed in repoing. Repointing. Because what I'd like to do, instead of relying on this jointing compound, I'd love to learn how to repoint a patio. With the proper stuff, the stuff that lasts. But I'm scared that I've seen that video. I'm scared that I'm gonna permanently stay in a patio with like mortar. Still don't have YouTube Premium, sorry. I've got a patio to wash next week, and it's raised. It leads to decking covered with AstroTurf. Covered within AstroTurf. So all the water will run onto the decking. What decent alternative to hypo would you recommend? What sort of patio is it? What sort of slabs are they? Do you know? You could buy a side, but it's not really gonna give you instant results. I would personally recommend something like Max Clean Pro from Pure Seal. Generally, it's probably not going to get the black spots out. I mean, if there are heavy black spots. But this is generally safe on pretty much all surfaces, and it foams up really nice. It sort of helps to draw all the contaminants to the surface. You can tell when it's working because it goes like bright orange. And it's also got a biocide in it as well, so even once you've rinsed it off, it's going to carry on working after you've left. Concrete slabs, the coloured yellow and red ones. Yeah, I mean, on concrete, ideally, you're going to want hypo, really. You can pre-wet the decking and the AstroTurf. I mean, it shouldn't really affect the artificial grass. But you can pre-wet the decking, keep it saturated, and even when you're rinsing the hypo off, you're diluting that hypo with all that water. And so even when it's It's the same for like tarmac. If you're washing a driveway that's going down towards the road and you've got like a path in between, and you're worried about the hypo going onto the tarmac and staining it or bleaching it, that will happen when you apply the hypo in the first place. But what I did on my most recent video, if you notice, once I'd applied the hypo, I stood at the bottom of the drive and I was rinsing, so that it didn't, to this bit here. So this is like a perfect example really. When I'm doing this hypo now, can you see I'm rinsing at the bottom of the drive? So I'm effectively just diluting the hypo so that it doesn't stain. Oh god, what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? And so you can pre-wet the decking and keep it wet throughout the whole process. And then if there is any runoff that goes down, just dilute it. And then when you're doing the final rinse down at the end and rinsing all the chemicals off, you're diluting all that sodium hypochlorite anyway so much, because of the fact that you're rinsing, that it's not going to make any difference really. That bit there, look. So now that the tarmac's saturated and I've diluted any of the runoff, I'm quite happy now that that's not going to stain. And then I'll do the full rinse down. And all this, the dilution ratio for this hypo now is so weak, it's not going to make any difference to the tarmac. And this was applied about 5-1 roughly. Oh my god, you can't see. I've just been doing all that and you couldn't even see. Oh. Sorry. I'll play it again real quick just so you can see it in the background. Can't believe I just did that. If it's a whirl away, they come with 25-degree tips. If you lower the bar, it's effectively cleaning like a 15-degree tip. If you raise the bar, it effectively cleans like a 40-degree tip. That's very good advice. Jake, for the clean block paving, it's 15 litres per minute machine. For the clean block paving, you don't want to use a 40-degree tip on block paving. You want to use a 15-degree on block paving, and you're probably not going to get the results that you want. I don't think anyone, based on my own research, I don't think anyone, unless it's just moss, no weeds whatsoever, I don't think you're going to get a good result using a surface cleaner on block paving, no matter what your machine, no matter what sort of machine you've got. You want to use a turbo nozzle on block paving. Came in to ask, firstly, what's your code for Pure Seal so I can use it when I check out? And secondly, would you recommend, I think it's called Synergy Pro, for conservatory roofs and gutters and windows, etc.? Yes. Yeah. So my, thank you, by the way. My code is on here. So let me post that in the chat. So if you follow that link and click on the Pure Seal services, that sort of activates my affiliate link, and then whatever you buy, I'll get a bit of commission off that. So thank you. What was your second question? So Synergy Pro is great as a degreaser, oil stain remover. You can mix it with hypo, which is really cool, so it's hypo safe. So when you're doing like concrete and you want to not only degrease it, but you want to get rid of any organic staining as well, you can mix it with hypo, and it's like a really good combination. It's great on PVC, gutters, fascias, soffits. Conservatories, it's good. The only thing I'd say is the reason I've switched from Synergy to TFR for conservatories is because of a very specific TFR that I found that leaves the glass as if you've washed it with pure water. So it leaves the glass on the conservatories hydrophilic, and it's this one here. It's this Drive Tech TFR, and I went in and bought some more of this today, and you can't get it on the website. It's GSF Car Parts. So you can, I'm sure GSF is like all over the UK, but if you type in TFR, it doesn't come up. But if you go in store, you can buy this Drive Tech TFR. And this is what I'm using on conservatories now. This is what I've used today to get these results. And it was absolutely fantastic. I think it's like 1:7 dilution ratio. Spray it all over the glass, all over the PVC. Rinse it off with tap water. You don't need pure water. Just rinse it off with tap water, and it comes up really good. But I'd say Synergy is the better all-rounder. It's a really good one to have in your van, just at all times. Like I say, for oil stains, gutters, fascias, soffits, general degreasing. If you had to pick one or the other, I'd say go for the Synergy. But specifically for conservatories and glass, I'm using the TFR. And again, like the TFR is good for gutters, fascias, soffits as well. It leaves it really shiny. Welcome, Dauntless, by the way. First time finding your channel today. Your videos are great. I have subbed. Thank you. Thank you so much. Welcome to the stream. Great channel. Been watching for a few months, getting a business set up. All the comments have made me made my choices a lot easier. And today I purchased the Kiam 3700 PR from Equip to Clean. Nice. That's the one that was my second machine. The only thing I'd recommend having done to that one is having a return to tank bypass fitted on the unloader valve. It will massively extend the life of your machine, and you'll have, I had loads of issues with the unloader valve on that machine. Great machine otherwise, but the unloader valve, there's a little shuttle and spring that kept disintegrating inside, and loads of other people have had the same issue. But a very worthwhile upgrade is that return to tank bypass. And if, most pressure washer suppliers should be able to fit one for you. It's just a different unloader valve. But I explain it in this video here. Repairs and upgrades. Posted about a year ago. Might want to check that one out. I explain the problem and show you what the problem is, and then show you the solution. What chemical injector would you recommend? I've seen the X-Jet one, which I keep going back to, but I've just found the stainless steel chemical blaster from Aka Cleaning. Aka Cleaning Limited. Do you mean ECA? That threw me off. This one. Using the chemical restrictors, you're able to perfectly control the dosage. Yeah. Yeah, as long as it's got proportioners in it, that looks absolutely fine. So that looks like a quick release going into, is that a is that like a filter? Oh my god, that was loud. What's that at the bottom? I want to make the picture bigger, but I can't. Is that a filter at the bottom? Oh my gosh. I just want to enlarge the image. I've never seen this this thing before. That looks like a very unique piece. But yeah, I'm guessing that does a very similar job to the X-Jet. The only difference I can see is it doesn't have an adjustable nozzle on the end. So you're pretty much stuck with whatever nozzle you put in there. You'd probably want like a 15 degree. So you can use it sort of when you're standing, clipped into your trigger. 15 degree should be around about right, I'd say, but let's watch this video, but we're gonna have to turn it down. Oh my god, it's still too loud. See, they've got a nozzle on there, but it doesn't tell you which one they're using. Looks like it works. Which brings me on to Equip2Clean have just launched. I forgot about this. Could anyone else not get onto the Equip2Clean website? Can someone do a test for me and let me know if you can get onto this website? Because my Wi-Fi won't let me do it. Maybe if I go incognito mode. How do I do that? Private window. No, my Wi-Fi won't let me do it. I can do it on my phone. Nary a worry. I think I posted it in my Discord the other day. Here we go. So it's the chemical injector, hypo injector, sorry. It's the Hypo Jet 2. And this time, instead of just being either 6:1, or 1:6, or 1:9, which I don't think personally is any good for applying hypo, they've now supplied it with proportioners that you can put into this little barb fitting. And also it's got like a really nice adjustable, same as the X-Jet, variable spray nozzle. Brass barbed hose connector. The only thing about brass and hypo sodium hypochlorite are corrosive to brass, aluminium, bronze, carbon, steel, cast iron. So it's going to corrode that. I mean, ideally it would have been made from stainless steel, really, but it's much better than the one they had before. Oh, they've got the proportioners are labelled A, B, C, D, E. That's good. Same sort of mesh filter as the X-Jet. Little shut-off valve, plastic shut-off valve, which is arguably better than a metal one, because there's less components there to rust, because the metal one has to be sort of I've got a Jubilee clip on mine to sort of hold all the fittings together, and that's rusted really bad. 189 quid including VAT. So that might be worth looking at as well. Your other option would be Rutland Pumps, which have just launched their What was it called? What's Rutland Pumps one called? Lances, triggers, nozzles. Sniper nozzle. Where's it gone? Does anyone know? No, it's not the Pro Foam. The brass will corrode. Always go for the ProJet Pro Foam. ProJet, thank you. So this is your other option, which comes with a trigger, ST2600 trigger. Sorry, ST2300 trigger. Full stainless steel. £240 including VAT, so it is more expensive. This one, I wonder if you get a different version depending on the flow rate of your machine, because you can sort of choose your flow rate here. Thank you, Matt. The brass was putting you off. Okay. Yeah, I mean, all they need to do is change that brass fitting for a stainless steel one. But also that's brass as well, that collar, isn't it? And that's brass down there as well. And it looks like these barb connections, are they just sort of push fit on? Is that okay with barb connectors, just to sort of push fit a hose over the top without... Oh no, look, they've got the... Looks like they've got the little thumb tighteners in the bag there. Thumb screw hose clamps. I wonder if they're stainless steel. The barb on the X-Jet is brass. On the official X-Jet. On the X-Jet M5. Try on your phone. Yeah, I can do it on my phone with no Wi-Fi, with just like data. I can do it on my phone. But I want to be able to show you on my laptop, which is connected to Wi-Fi. They've also just put out a they've put out something else as well. So this is their new HypoJet. Clearly does the job. I did think that as I was watching, I'd be interested to see the tarmac after that second half of the video. You don't know what he's spraying on there. I mean, if that's like brick acid, which it probably isn't. This is probably just for the test for the video, but probably wouldn't be spraying brick acid all over the tarmac. But anyway, so this is their the new snow foam cannon, which is interesting, because this solves a few issues that I have with snow foam cannons being used as like aggressive chemical injectors or whatever. So it's got the big round lid, so you can actually pour chemicals into it. It looks like it's stainless steel and plastic fittings. That looks like a very high quality nub end, whatever that end's called. So it looks like it's stainless steel and plastic, which is good for hypo because it's not going to rust. And there's a little dial on top that allows you to, I don't know whether it's to either adjust, it's got to be to adjust the dilution, hasn't it? The only thing is, does it tell you what the dilution ratio is? because sometimes it's just like plus or minus, and you're adjusting it and you don't really know what you're getting, just like strong or weak. But unless you've got some way of measuring it, you'll sort of never know. So I wonder if it's got numbers on the dial at the top, because that'd be ideal. But this would be a great starting point for someone who wants to apply chemicals, but doesn't want to go through the expense of purchasing like an X-Jet just yet, because I think it's about 35 quid. I can't remember. See, this one, for example, that's got brass fittings and like a smaller inlet for the top. The ideal scenario would be if you could fill this bottle up, like if you could have like a 2 litre bottle or even like a 3 litre one. That would be really good for like for someone just starting out, if they just want a snow foam lance or a nozzle to apply chemicals quickly, providing you can control the dilution. I like that. Okay, thank you. I'd probably not use a strong mix to start with. It should be fairly diluted. Just want to check. The other thing you can do, Dave, is go in with a bucket and brush. You've got much more control with a bucket and a soft brush. You don't want hard bristles, because you're not going to carry the chemical from the brush, from the bucket onto the patio, because it's just going to sort of fall out as soon as you pull it out of the bucket. Get a nice, like flocked, soft, thick brush. You don't need to scrub the chemicals in. You just need to brush it onto a sort of apply it to the surface. You're not trying to scrub any black spots away or anything. But that might be much more controlled than trying to spray it on. The second question, I'm doing the biocide course soon. How do you feel about soft washing patios and pavings, etc.? I've done many soft washing jobs where there's either no water on site or the access was too difficult to sort of bring the pressure washer through and all that sort of stuff. And so many times I've had to soft wash a patio. There's a few occasions where I've started out by soft washing the patio, Indian sandstone or concrete slabs. I've started out by doing a very strong mix of hypo, soft washing. Leave it down for like half an hour to 40 minutes. And it looks 10 times better than it did when I started. But I feel like you can always achieve better results following it up with a pressure wash. Every time I've pressure washed the surface after doing a strong chemical treatment, it always looks better. Slightly better, but noticeably better. So I don't know if you can get away with just soft washing, personally. That's just my opinion. I don't know what anyone else in the chat thinks, if anyone else has got any experience doing it, but biocide course, I think the biocide course would be well worth doing. I haven't done it myself, but I picked up a lot on the Pure Seal approved applicator course. Picked up a lot of useful information about biocide there. Hello, Monkey. You're right, mate. Best way to clean tarmac with the surface cleaner. I like to do a checkerboard pattern. I go up and down in one direction, and then side to side in the other direction. So 2 passes on the same area. And then, if there's still moss, you can do a light pass with a turbo nozzle from far away. You don't want to get too close. Depending on how good the tarmac is. If it's really old or if it's brittle, probably don't go near it with a turbo nozzle. Also, if it's like brand new, I wouldn't pressure wash brand new tarmac either, because you might end up leaving streaks in it. Lots of other people would suggest doing either circular motions with a surface cleaner. If ever you're pressure washing tarmac, just turn the revs down slightly, or turn the I think I found the sweet spot of around about 150 bar, 125 to 150 bar, but I was using 25 degree fan jets. So if you're using, sorry, I was using 40 degree fan jets. If you're using 25s, you might find a different pressure better. But this is where having a pressure gauge on your machine is really useful, because you can repeat those results. Then if you get a really good result one day on tarmac, you want to remember what pressure you used and which nozzle you used. Some people will say go in circular motions, which I did. Why have I just opened Blender? Which I did on some resin recently, and it was really good. Other people say do figures of eights. I find when I'm doing a figure of eight and I rinse down and it dries, I always miss little triangles like that, because when I'm sort of going around in figure of eights, inevitably there's a little bit that I've not gone over. So I'd say either circles or a checkerboard pattern, personally. I think there's probably more risk with a checkerboard pattern. If something's wrong, if your pressure's too high, it's going to be much more noticeable. You're going to leave tram lines and streaks and stuff. Reese Williams, hi mate, hope you're well. What kit do you use to record for YouTube? Is it a case of the main camera, then waterproof one, or is it just one? I don't have any waterproof cameras. For the longest time, all of my videos last year were recorded on a Google Pixel 6, which has a fantastic camera. Any of the Google Pixel phones, absolutely fine for recording YouTube videos. Any iPhones these days, absolutely fine for YouTube. If you're trying to get into YouTube, don't let the camera hold you back. Just use whatever you've got in your pocket, and if you feel you need to upgrade it at some point, then upgrade when you get into it. But just use what you've got, else you'll keep waiting and thinking, I need to get a new camera before I can start YouTube. I need to get a tripod before I can start YouTube. Don't bother with all that. Just start recording stuff. I've recently bought a DJI Action 4. Osmo DJI Action 4. What's going on? Why can't I get onto... Has something changed with my internet? So I've just recently switched to... Not switched, but I'm using this for a lot of my footage now. And I love it. I really like it. I'd love to buy that TFR because I've seen it on one of your solar panel jobs and they look super shiny, but I live in Cornwall, so no idea where to get it. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you might have to phone one of the stores. If you phone GSF Car Parts, they might be able to deliver it to you instead of purchasing it on the website. But yeah, it just leaves everything super shiny, and it means you can rinse off with tap water. You've got the benefit of TFR, and you don't have to carry around pure water in the van with you. You are probably not going to answer, but how much do you make per 1,000 views? If you don't want to answer, it's all good. It varies. Per 1,000 views. I can't answer that honestly because I don't know. I don't look at the figures like that really. Because I get ad revenue from shorts, from long form videos, from like YouTube Premium, and then also my members that are all part of the Discord and stuff. They pay every month to be, through YouTube to be a part of that group. So I can't answer honestly, to be honest. Sorry. There's loads of videos out there that you can watch that will answer that question for you. Depends on many different factors. Pressure wash it. Oh, sorry, pressure it. No problem, mate. Pressure it. It's a weird way to... I've not seen that word written down before. LC exterior cleaning, welcome. Jake, I've seen that one too, but the brass was putting me off. There is the same thing on China eBay for 25 quid. They are just upselling them. Really? They've got this product on China eBay for 25 quid. Can you send me a link? Hi Smelt. I was quoting a job yesterday and the customer had decking bridge over the pond and wanted it treated. Am I best to stay away from the area with jetting and treatment with koi carp? Oh my god. I wouldn't touch that job personally. I don't know. Pure Seal do a product called Enviro Clean. Well, they used to. Safe Clean Eco, that one. Uh, 100% safe and eco-friendly. Safe for pets and children. Works on all surfaces. No hidden harmful ingredients. It's aimed at green and red staining only, as black staining can be stubborn. Not effective at removing black spots. It can be used to clean fences, decking, patios, rendered walls. Apply with a sprayer or water-fed pole. Remove as much debris before. I'm sure you could still pressure wash the decking. Because any runoff is just going to be like algae. I can't vouch for how effective this product is because I've never used it. But I'd be so careful around koi carp. Aren't koi carp like so expensive? But if you get a call in 2 weeks' time saying they've all floated to the surface because they're all dead, that'll be a massive insurance job. I don't know. I'd be very, very careful. And potentially even get the customer to sign a waiver. Show them this product or show them the product that you're going to use. Say, this is what I'd recommend. Please sign here to say that you're happy for me to go ahead and I accept no liability. Green Acres, hi buddy, love the videos. Do you get any paid advertising? Heard good things about Google and Facebook ads, but not sure. Do you do any paid advertising? Sorry. No. I don't pay a penny for marketing other than hosting my website. So I can't give you any sort of insight on that, I'm afraid, mate. Washy, welcome. How you doing? Evening, carry on cleaning. Welcome, mate. I get that feeling Jake's not a football fan. No. Oi, oi. Was the football last night? Did we win? Was it England? Did we win? No idea. That TFR is available on eBay, is it? Ooh. I was looking for like a link to be able to share with you lot. What was it called? Drive Tech TFR. There you go. It's on eBay. There you go, you lot. It's more expensive. I'm paying 25 quid. There you are, look. He makes too much per 1,000 views. How much is too much? I wouldn't risk a koi pond for a clean. I'd either walk away or, like Jake says, get a waiver in writing. Yeah, get something in writing. Thanks for the advice. I think I'm going to go for the project chemical nozzle with trigger from Rutland Pumps. I'm trying to think if there's any other options. My friend Rich bought the Pro Foam from Rutland Pumps, which is very, very similar to the X-Jet. Quite a unique design. The only thing he found with it is that nozzle is fixed and you can't change the spread of the chemical. So it's essentially locked at something like 25 degrees, I'd say. and he likes mine because we've worked together a couple of times, and when he's used the X-Jet, it's sort of nice to be able to rinse down, because you can just adjust the nozzle on the end, and I do like a thin spread for rinsing down the windows and the gutters and the walls, and then I use like a more closed spread for rinsing down the driveways and the patios and stuff, so you can stand further back. How's the trolley coming along? Shut up. No, I've done no work to it whatsoever. Nothing. And I don't think I'm gonna. It's not something I'm gonna pursue. I was thinking about like creating a soft wash trolley. But it's too much work. It's a hell of a lot of work. It's not only all the electrics, which I've got myself quite familiar with, but it's purchasing all these different parts from different suppliers, actually building the thing, outsourcing the fabrication on the frame, and then there's like actually hosting them and selling them and having them delivered, and then the customer service, and yes, too much effort. Adds trolley design to the list of smelt upgrades. Yeah. I did I just sent off a quote for 1,200 quid for a roof clean. I want to see what you guys think. The Pro Foam's out of stock. I wonder if they've stopped making it because they've introduced the Pro Jet, maybe. So I've recently been working at this property, and they've asked for a quote to clean the roof. I've pressure washed their back patio and just this block paving at the front. So what I've done here, I'm going to get a slightly different measurement now, but I've just done this. So 120 square meters. I've done 120, and then I'm multiplying it by the pitch of the roof. So I'm accounting, if it was lay flat like a piece of paper, I'm accounting for this pitch by timesing it by about 1.3. That gives me 156 square meters. And then I'm timesing that by around about 7.5, which leaves me with 1,170 quid. So that's what I've quoted to pressure wash the roof, clear the gutters out, and then apply biocide when it's dry. What are your thoughts? I think 7.5 is on the cheaper end. £7.50 per square meter. Too cheap per square meter, do you think? I mean, the access is reasonably easy. It's a returning customer, very lovely family that I'm quite happy to do more work for. I'm quite interested to get a few more roof cleans under my belt. Well, generally my roof cleans, I'm pricing them between about £7 and £8 per square meter. Not everyone are doing the calculation of, timesing it by about 1.3, 1.4, depending on the pitch. Some people are just doing square meter and, charging £12 per square meter. So it might work out the same. Let's have a look. 120 times 12. No, it's a little bit more, isn't it? What would you be at? So you think £12 per square £12 per square meter, even once I've done the multiplication. 120 times 1.3, 156 times, what do you say, 12? Don't know, that seems like a lot to me. £8 per square meter. Geordie Big Nips has just subscribed. Nice. That's pressure wash. All your roofs, you do £8 per square meter, plus £100 for bio application. Was it 156? So we're about the same, really. Oh, plus £100. Oh, so you're quite a lot more than me then. Yeah, okay, maybe I am cheap then. I mean, for this particular one, I was quite keen. I mean, that looks like a fairly simple roof to clean. Nice flat tiles. Loads of moss, so it's going to be like a really good transformation. Decent access. So I'm quite keen to get this one, like that. It's all flat around the property. Hello.
Hello.
You okay?
Mhm. What do you want?
Can I help? Look, you still sniffly?
No. Yeah. What do you want?
What do I want?
Yeah, I don't know if to get it delivered.
No, don't get it delivered. Actually, be careful with your wheel. Sophie's wheel's like vibrating since I changed since I sent it to get repaired the other day. She had a puncture. She had a big nail in her tyre. But Soph's going out to get McFlurries.
You say be careful with my wheel now, but we've literally drove to Stourport and
Yeah, I think you'll be fine.
I drove to work.
You said it was really aggressive. It wasn't that aggressive when I drove to Stourport. It was noticeable, but not crazy.
No, I mean...
So if it's getting worse...
I wouldn't say... I just think it was aggressive with vibrations, like, compared to normal.
I mean, the wheel was already balanced. And the tyre... Oh, they took the tyre off, didn't they? They've not rebalanced the wheel when they put it back on.
What does that mean?
Does anyone know, if you've got an alloy wheel, it's got a puncture in it, they've taken the tyre off because they've got all the tyre grease around it, so they've took the tyre off, repaired the puncture, put the same tyre back on. Does that wheel need rebalancing? And they were all over the place with it, so I bet they've not rebalanced it. Because you had to leave in the end and they didn't charge you, did they?
No.
The wheel needs rebalancing. Okay, there you go.
How much is that going to cost?
Well, they should have done it before they give it back to you. So we'll have to take it down and get... They stick little weights on the inside of the alloy. They put it on the machine, it spins round, and then they weight it out to account for any imperfections.
What are you going to do then?
What am I going to do? I'll have to take it down tomorrow, won't I? But more serious matters, I'd like a plain McFlurry with a hot apple pie, please.
Okay. Do you want anything else? Do you want some cheesy bites?
And have them realigned. Cheesy bites?
Mozzarella bites are so good.
No thanks, not this time of
A
night.
chicken sharer box. It's got chicken select and nuggets in it.
Yeah, but I can't really eat on stream. People don't normally like watching me chew food, I don't think. Hello Darren, you're right, mate. How's it going? What?
Is that island going to be closed?
The what?
Is
Island?
that island going to be closed?
Oh, maybe. You might have to go all the way around.
It says up to the 17th on the signs.
Yeah, you might have to go all the way around Reddit just to get it. Or go to Moon's Moat. Might be quicker. Is the website you done pulling in at decent amount of inquiry? Sorry. Is the website you done pulling in a decent amount of inquiries now. Had a look at it earlier for some inspiration, and you've done a great job. Oh, thank you, X-Wheelies. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, I get around about 3-4 inquiries a week from the website, roughly. Some weeks are better than others. I've not really done much work on this. I probably should add a little bit more. I think the salt spreading's a bit random. I think I'm going to take that off. But the yeah, some of these pictures are quite nice. This is the benefit of, I suppose, being like a content creator, is that I've got quite a lot of decent pictures and like screenshots from some of my videos which look quite professional, I suppose, which most people probably wouldn't ordinarily take, because most people aren't setting up a tripod when they're doing a job. So I think that does put it above some of the other exterior cleaning websites, unless it's like a super professional, large scale commercial business where they're having photos taken regularly, you know. But for someone just starting out, you're probably not going to have like photos like these to just draw from, unfortunately. This one actually was from, this is a free photo from Gutter Vacuum Systems that you can go on their Facebook page. I'm not going to do it now, but you can go on their Facebook page and they've got some like free images that you can use if anyone needs any gutter images. Thanks for the compliment, by the way.
Really want the flavoured one. Look, Galaxy Caramel.
No, I think I'd like a plain one to crush my apple pie into. Thank you. Jake, you've been in the game long enough to know the jobs that look the easiest tend not to be. Yeah, you are right. You're talking about the roof. I don't think that roof's going to be easy, don't get me wrong. I think it's going to be a nice transformation. And they're lovely customers, so I don't mind if I've slightly undercharged on that one. You will regret charging £7 per square metre when you flood someone's property. Speaking of which, oh, he's not put the video up yet. Let me text him. I donated to that GoFundMe. WhatsApp. Can you sit here a sec? I just need to go for a wee. Oh, you know when you get the EBGBs because you need a weebie-GB. Stupid. Can I show that video? By the way, for anyone that doesn't already know, there's a GoFundMe for a window cleaner who has been... There's a video on Squeaky Clean Dave's channel where he interviews the father of a window cleaner who has been electrocuted by overhead poles, overhead high power lines. And there is a GoFundMe if anyone wants to contribute. How do I go back? There we go. And I'll put the link.
Oh, there is a lot.
How do I do the link?
Share.
You have to keep putting the link in the chat like this. There you go. If anyone wants to contribute, make sure you watch the videos as well, because it's very, very informative. We actually went to a job this morning, and I was explaining the video to Jakey, and so just saying, like, we need to be very aware before we start any sort of gutter job or any, you know, any work at height. And then as we pulled up at the property, there was lines going from a pole to the corner of the property, but they were just phone lines. I went and like triple checked. The neighbour came out and I said, these are just telephone lines, aren't they? And he said, yeah, definitely. Just the one cable going to the corner of the house is usually a telephone line, I think. If there's 2 or more cables, it's probably a power line. But yeah, go and watch Squeaky Clean Dave's video and feel free to contribute to that GoFundMe. So Gary from Weir Jet Washing sent me this the other day. He said it's the first time it's happened to him.
No good.
Someone that he's contacted said, I think he said in 16 years it's never happened, or it happened once. And she actually had a roofer up there beforehand, and she never told Weir Jet Washing
No good.
that that there was a leak before he started. But apparently the customer's been quite good about it, that she's been like understanding, because it was essentially her fault, really. She said she had a roofer up there trying to fix a leak last year. Said, you should have told me that. She's absolutely fine. Gonna give it a lick of paint when it's dry. Video will be out next week. Crazy. Craziness. You put the wheel back on, Jake. Is it straight like the ladders on the back of your van? Not bad. You just come here and cause grief, didn't you? You cause trouble. Speaking of which, lots of transitions tonight, but look what Jakey's done to me van.
Am I paying or are you?
What do you mean, am I paying or are you? I thought it was your treat.
Yeah, to go and get it.
Are you going to get it or are you ordering it?
No, I'm going to get it.
I need a wee. I'm going to be back in just a tick. Bear with. I can pay, I don't mind. I'll do you. I'm down. Yeah. Anything to do with food, I'm down. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry about that. He's broke me bloody door handle off. He was yanking it because, I mean, I told him you've got to really slam that side door because I think it's had a bit of a bump at some point, and the side door takes a lot of effort to pull shut. So he was trying to yank it when it was open. He was trying to close it, and it wasn't unsecuring itself from the latch, and he didn't realise you need to put your hand inside the door, click the little handle inside, and then it'll start sliding. So he's just trying to yank this. He's just pulled it off, snapped it. So I've just had to order another one. Luckily, I think it just slots in and sort of clips back into place. There's no like mountings or fixings for it. So, but being like just plastic, it's a strange design. That's what we've been up to today. We've been cleaning this conservatory roof, pressure washing, low pressure washing the gutters first, scrubbing some TFR on them, and then rinsing them off again with the power pole. We've done 2 of these properties. Vacuum the gutters, fascia soffits, 1 conservatory, and we did a quote today as well. And we're just, my shoulders are absolutely dead. Oh, look at him, the beast. He did really well today. Stuff like this that catches you off guard and you don't realise how difficult like a manoeuvre is like that. I don't know how people do it. People that... window cleaners particularly. I bet window cleaners' arms, most of them are huge. But this is very, very tough work. For anyone that hasn't cleaned like gutters, fascias, soffits before, and conservatories, it's very, very labour intensive. I could be making my life a little bit easier by having a lighter, stiffer water-fed pole, but I'm tight, so I haven't purchased one yet. But if this breaks, or if I need to get a second one, I'll probably be going for a sort of more bougie, expensive pole. High reach. Buying guide. Robust, reliable, full carbon, greater rigidity. Good pole for working at heights with good rigidity. Robust hardware and pole. Good bounce suppression. Good rigidity. They all say the same thing. Rigid, lightweight, easy to use telescopic pole. Shorter poles provide easy low level working. That hasn't really answered any of my questions. If you want the most rigid, strongest and hardest wearing pole, what about light? Does that include light? What's the ultimate cost then? Oh my god. I mean, I don't need 46 feet's worth. What's HM? High mid? High medium? I'd probably go for something slightly longer as well this time. I think I've got a 22 at the moment, so 25 might be okay. 610 quid plus VAT. I wonder how much that weighs compared to the one I've got at the moment. Like, is it that much lighter? I mean, this one's longer, so it's probably not going to be lighter. Extreme. Yeah, anyway. Darren, did you say obviously to does the wheel need rebalancing? It's not obvious, you cheeky monkey. If you're putting the same tyre back on, I wouldn't say that was obvious. Watching Jake trying to concentrate on the live chat while getting distracted by Mackie's. My subscription pays for the delivery. What's the GoFundMe about? Have a look on Squeaky Clean Dave's channel. I don't want to go too much into it because he's done a fantastic job of sort of covering it in 2 parts. It's these 2 videos here. Part 1, Part 2. I think he's just had a couple of operations. I think one's to amputate his legs and the other one to amputate his arm. I'm not too sure, but awful story. Absolutely awful. He's got kids as well. It's just like, oh, heartbreaking. And it can like, he didn't do anything wrong by the sounds of it. It could have happened to anyone. Just very chilling. Sophie Quick, give us all his bank details. Sack him immediately. My comments keep failing. Your what do you mean? What do you mean your comments keep failing when you're trying to type in chat? On the live stream or on one of my videos? Just got an SLX. Stop being. I'll just get an SLX. Stop being tight. Greg, welcome. How you doing? HM high mod. Oh, okay, thank you. You don't need the high mod. Oh. Supermax. They're even more expensive. 27 foot though. That would be actually that's cheaper. I don't think I need anything more than a 27 foot. No, I'm not going to buy another pole until mine breaks. No way. Just looking at these poles too. There is a weight in the description. Yeah, I did see it earlier, but is it in the technical info or something? Oh, it's further down. 1690. So that's actually 310 grams lighter than my current pole, but it's 5 feet longer. That's impressive. Very impressive. Actually, I lie. I was looking at a different one. It's 110 grams lighter. Still impressive, the fact that it's longer. Most robust, shorter pole with great rigidity. I feel like I want to try one. I want to test one before I buy it to see if that extra money is worth, to see if it's that much more rigid. I mean, carbon fiber, you'd have thought it's pretty sturdy, because that's where I'm losing most of my energy in these poles, is when they're sort of whipping around. Like, you can see the flex on that pole. I wasn't putting a hell of a lot of pressure on this. This is just the weight of the brush and obviously me going underneath the gutter, and it's flexing a hell of a lot. That's also almost fully extended. I can get a little bit more out of each of these, but I don't fully extend each of the clips. I mean, it gets over conservatories and stuff, it's fine, and it gets all the way up to the tops of the gable ends. So I'm fairly happy that 22 foot does everything I need it to do on domestic properties. But there's no harm in getting something a little bit longer, is there? We could all do with an extra few inches, couldn't we? You know. Gutter vacuum systems do a 35 foot high mod pole that's cheap in comparison to other high mods. What's high mod? Is it just the same pole but it's got a few extra bits on it? Why does it have to be called a high mod? I don't understand. Why can't it just be called a 35 foot? I don't understand. SLX will be fine. SLX 22. Okay. Do you rate it, do you? Do you know of any snow foam cannons that you can use with normal garden hoses, etc., for example, to apply chemical to a conservatory roof? That's a very good question. something you plug into a regular hose from the customer's water supply that has enough pressure to create a venturi and fire it out onto a surface. I mean, it's going to depend on, because you're not going to get the same consistent flow rate every time in each property. I don't know if it's going to do what you want it to do. You might buy something that claims it does something, and it might do it on a property that's got like 15-20 litres per minute coming from the tap. But then if you go to a different property that's got 10 litres per minute coming from the tap, is it actually going to draw the chemical, and is it going to do what you want it to do? I don't know. Important questions that I don't know the answers to. Am I on the right thing? Water-fed poles. It's a 35-foot high mod pole. I don't think I need 35 foot, but these are a lot cheaper. 320 quid including that. And they're carbon fiber. And they're light, 1.72 kilograms. Let's look at the Pro 28. It doesn't look like it comes with a brush. 100% carbon fiber in matte finish, rigid, perfect for cleaning external gutters, faces, and soffits. That's what I want it for. And roof scraping. Doesn't look like it comes with the brush, but I've seen some of their other poles that do come with a brush. Where's that one gone? Soft washing accessories. Maybe you have to stick the brush in yourself. Unger Enlight Radius brush. This brush looks really good, by the way, for gutters, faces, and soffits. Look how long them bristles are. Imagine being able to, like, you know, you got the fascia, and you want to get up underneath the gutter. You can sort of push the bristles up, and they'll sort of go like that, and you'll be able to clean up underneath the gutters. Which, now that I'm pressure washing them first, I get like 90% of it, but like a long bristle brush like that would be really useful. Looks like a chunky one. A couple of different grades of bristle in there by the looks of it. Maybe harder ones on the inside, softer on the outside. It's like me. Hard on the inside, soft on... No, it's the other way around, isn't it? The brush head weighs 400 grams. Bring up those gutters like new. Unflagged bristles. Curved brush. Interchangeable quick release jets. I mean, that's a good option. So that's 55 quid plus, what was I looking at before? And does that come with everything you need to sort of slot it into the pole? I don't know. So it's 420 odd quid. Certainly something I'll look into. A few of us have been replying on the stream and it keeps failing. Refresh YouTube and it seems okay again. Oh, I didn't know that. Sorry. I don't know if there's anything I can do about that, unfortunately. Is the 22 long enough to do apex, gutters, faces, and soffits? When you say apex, do you mean these gable ends? These sides here? Yes. Yeah, it's just about... Why am I so zoomed in? Why am I so zoomed in? I'm a midget. Okay. Yeah, I suppose the working height is going to be different depending on how tall you are. Over 8 poles have way less bend. Yeah, over 8s, aren't they actually like an oval pole? 24 foot. The pole itself is like, it's not round. Is that one? Or am I thinking of a different pole? 4 stories is 30 foot. There you go. That's a good reference. Cancels out the whipping effect. That's what I need, because that's what gets your ribs and your shoulders, is that sort of whipping. You're expending so much more energy because you're trying to sort of control that whip. If it was just totally stiff, you'd be able to sort of point it exactly where you want it. More productive and be able to work safer. This one includes a brush and 2 pencil jets. More stability, more control. £437 plus VAT. So that is more expensive, but it is slightly bigger. Stop being tight. No. My SLX is still flexy at length. Yeah, I mean, if I'm doing like a significant upgrade and spending a lot more money, I want it to be a lot better. I don't want it to be a bit better. I want it to be like really good. Is it something to do with the weave of the carbon fiber? Oh, okay. Use the red one you have for a cleaning pad to wipe the gutters afterwards, or use it for your GoPro. That's a good idea. Yeah, so the current one that I've got, I could stick a microfiber cloth on it, so that when I'm finished cleaning, I can just wipe down the underside of the soffit. You know, the bit where all the drips start coming off the bottom of the fascia. I could just go and wipe that with like a microfiber cloth attached to my red water-fed pole that I've already got. The high mod is stiffer and lighter. Okay. There's 5 settings for percentage. Oh, you're talking to Dauntless. You need a good water pressure for the foam gun to garden hose. I tried it at my property. It didn't work, but it works at my father-in-law's property. There you go. Martin, thank you for the comment. Backing up everything I said. I'm joking, sorry. If you buy one of the more expensive ones, like a high mod from Gardener, they require more maintenance. Oh, I don't want to be maintaining my pole. The Gardener ones come with brushes, etc. The Gutter Vacuum System ones don't. I'll take a look at it. Not an awful thing to have in the van. Do you pressure wash all gutters, fascias, soffits before applying? I'm considering putting together a conversion for the pressure wash to pressure wash out of the water-fed pole. To have it combined in one item. To have a high pressure telescopic lance that's got a brush on the top as well. The issue is with that, if that's what you're talking about, I might have got the wrong end of the stick. It's a great idea though. The only thing is it's going to be very heavy. I mean, my power pole, just pressure washing them gutters and fascias and stuff, like this, it's very heavy. Probably 10 or 15 times heavier than my water-fed pole. Just because of the high pressure hose going down the middle, all the adapters on the end, you know, the trigger, the actual length of this pole and stuff is much bigger than my other one. But if you could put a brush, I don't know. I don't know if it would work. I don't know if it'd be worth it. Because then having to sort of agitate the gutters and stuff with all that weight unnecessarily. I don't know. Could you put a link for the XJet M5 under your video description? There are so many websites selling slightly different versions. You can get the XJet M5 from AC Pressure Washers, I believe. But there are a few different alternatives on the market now. I think I don't know if you were here when we just discussed Rutland Pumps Projet, which looks to be like a very good alternative. Hi Chelt, you're right, mate. I have both options then. I'll have both options then, but yeah, the energy requires, even with an SLX, is oof. I changed from SLX to over 8 and I've never looked back. All the sections stayed dead straight. Really? That's interesting. Are you sure? There's no flex, no whip at all. Is that what you're telling me? I use a 22-foot carbon phantom pole from Window Cleaning Warehouse as my daily pole, which covers 95% of all my work, including soffit and fascia cleans. It's lasted 5 years so far, and it's like new. I mean, my CLX 22 has lasted almost 3 years now, and I haven't really done anything to it, and it's still perfectly serviceable. It works great. I probably use it like 2-3 times a week, I'd say. But my issue isn't how long it's lasted. My issue is sort of how flexible it is. I think I take like decent care of my stuff. Like I'm not throwing them around and dropping them on the floor and stuff. I take good care of it, so I'm not worried about whether it lasts or not particularly. I actually won an over 8 from Chris Addis at the most recent cleaning expo. You won a £500 pole for £4. Oh my god. Get there a bit early next year. Yeah, I know. We arrived a bit too late. Everyone was packing up. I could send you a video of my over 8 fully extended at an angle. It's amazing. You're going to send me a video of your fully extended pole? Does your wife know that you're on YouTube right now? That'd be great. Send it on WhatsApp or Instagram or Facebook or whatever. Yeah, I'd like to see that if you don't mind. I'd like to see your pole. Could you please tell me where you buy your surfactant from and what mix ratio is needed? Of course. I go to Pure Seal. But before I go there, I always click on my link tree to make sure Smelty Boy gets that sweet commission, which I'm going to drop in the chat for you. So click on this Pure Seal link here and then go to the shop and then have a look at the Pure Surf Boost, and say you've got a 25 litre drum of hypo. You only need 500 millilitres of this. I use around about 750 instead of 500, but a little bit more foam. So yeah, basically one of these will last 10 tubs of hypo. Have I got the maths right on that? That's not right, is it? 500 ml to a 25 litre drum is 2%. 25 divided by... Hang on, just wait. Wait. Divided by 500. I've got the maths totally wrong. Divided by Divided by 500. I can't do it. 20. 20 tubs? No. That's where I'm going wrong. It's a 5 litre tub. So 5 litres divided by divided by 500 ml is 10. 10 tubs. Thank you. Thank you, Matt. I knew I weren't going crazy. That's the one I get. Put the video in the Discord. I'd love to see it. I don't think Dauntless is a member of the Discord, unfortunately. $500 times 10 is 5,000 ml. Yeah, I was getting confused with 25 litres of hypo, and I was disregarding the fact that it comes in a 5 litre tub. Yeah, my bad. My bad. I want to watch that repointing video. How to repoint paving slabs. We know how you measure. You measure ladders skewed. Measure one side in centimeters and the other side in inches. Come off it. Oh, this video is terrible. Oh, I'm watching it in the wrong speed. There we go.
We need to repoint this paving and all this patio the whole way down here. And so the lads and I have just been scraping out everything in between, and we've gone down really deep.
That's just putting me off ever going out the house again.
What?
Probably about 5 or 6 centimetres the whole way round. We've cleared it all out,
and then I
used a couple of hoovers, and then emptied them out into bin bags up here. So we've really cleared
one
it.
After another.
This has been great again, actually. It's really helpful for hoovering up all of this stuff.
Yeah.
But now we're making up all of the sand and the cement for the repointing. So we've done a dry mix of 4:1, 1 part cement, 4
back.
Sorry, dry mix. Sorry, so dry mix of 4:1.
1 part cement, 4 parts sand, and I'm literally just mixing it up now and just making sure that I get all of these kind of, well, that's actually just a set piece of cement, but making sure that I get all of these little crumbly bits out where the sand has clumped. So just trying to finish up those because I haven't got a mixing bucket with me. Cement's got a really high alkali. It's a very low pH, which means that it will corrode your hands and, you know, stuff.
I tried a bit of that last time.
Yeah, the cement will did you say corrode your hands? So like cement burns your skin, does it?
Starts to feel quite abrasive, so I'm going to be wearing gloves, and all we're going to be doing is mixing this in. But once you've mixed it up, I just want to show you the consistency. I'm going to go wash my hands again after this. But this is the sort of consistency you want to have. When you squeeze it together, it clumps and holds its shape like this.
That's nice.
Yeah,
nice and firm.
Really cool.
And then the more you squeeze it, the firmer it gets until it breaks apart.
Right.
Thank you.
That's the sort of mix you want. But you push it in, compact it down, and then put another layer on top, and then leave it, and it will cure because there's enough moisture and wetness in the sand to help cure that cement. So yeah, we've got quite a lot to do. We're going to crack on with it now.
I wonder if he brushes it over the entire surface, or just he's just patting it in each joint and then removing the excess with a soft brush. I wonder if he wets it afterwards, or if he just leaves it. Does anyone know if this method of repointing is as strong
We've started
as a wet mix?
Some of the cement down into here in the paving slabs, nice and compacted and firm. just going down, because we've got gloves on, pressing it down like this, and then just sweeping some more over, making sure that we're not leaving any of the cement and the sand on here so that it doesn't stain. And as you may have noticed, what we're doing is we're sweeping across at a diagonal on the paving slabs rather than sweeping in line with the lines.
That's what I do with the jointing compound.
Across, then you don't pull it out of the lines as much, and you brush across. So it's slightly better for keeping it in. Yeah, and we're just going along very, very quick, very easy. Trowel. Go along like this.
He said very, very quick, very easy.
Fill it up.
I mean, it doesn't look particularly quick and easy, to be honest. I mean, not as easy as pressure washing.
Put in.
This is more like landscaping stuff, which I'm sure takes much longer, so I suppose it...
And then rinse and repeat. And it really is as easy as that.
I want to know how strong that is.
Right, I'll show you how we get on when we're finished.
When it's set.
So this is what it looks like when it's finished. You can see patches that have started to dry at slightly different speeds. That's completely normal. You can expect that. What we did is we pushed it all down. That's nice and firm now. We put a layer down, tamped it in with our fingers, really packed it in tight, and then put a whole another layer on top. This goes the whole way down there. That's all been done. This all along here has been done, and then we just swept it all off swept it over the whole lot.
See, the bit that's concerning me is it looks like there's a fine residue. Looks like a very fine residue of cement dust over that whole patio now. And if any of that dries, it's going to permanently stain, isn't it? I'd be inclined to like wet that whole area down, but then you're probably going to spread it more. I don't know.
Over.
Check your Instagram. I will in just a sec.
Over the whole lot. So what we'll do now is we'll leave this for a couple of days. Depending on the weather, it is looking a little bit rainy, and it is, you know, there is a chance on the forecast. So what we may end up doing is just leaving it, and the rain can sprinkle it with some water for us. If it doesn't rain, we'll go around with a watering can and just lightly water the whole thing. In about 2 days time, 3 days time, we'll then wait again, and then we'll come back with a hose and we'll wash the whole lot down. By that time it will have cured nice and evenly, cured solid, and this will all be completely set. But for now we're going to get off it, leave it to cure for a couple of days, and move on to some other jobs. So that's how you repoint paving slabs. If you like this video, please do like.
So he's doing like multiple return visits afterwards as well. I wonder if there's any... I'd like to see this one.
The auto sale is now on.
Shush. Adverts.
But yeah, had a nice bank holiday weekend, nice and chilled, so hit back at it now. So I think we're going to spend the rest of the week obviously sort of doing this, like, so yeah, let's go see what they got done.
Oh, she's clean. She looks good in the sun. Ah, lovely. So here she is.
If you're going to use sand and cement, just do it properly. Why?
It all, raking out all
What's the difference? Do you know?
Last week, so all this has been relayed. Well, half of it anyway. All these bits in the middle were all down there, all round there, have all been relayed. So yeah, all raked out, ready now. I think Kiam was here yesterday, so he started about here. You see what difference it's making.
To be honest, looks like it could do with a proper clean first, doesn't it? Never mind repointing it. Let's get rid of them black and white spots. You know what I mean? The difference it would make. A freshly repointed patio that's actually been chemically treated. It'd be night and day.
So yeah, it's coming up right. It's just been lightly brushed up. We'll brush it again later. So yeah, so you got from here all the way around to there. I've just relayed a couple on that bit. So we're going to concentrate on this area.
I'd love to know how to just relay a couple of slabs. I think that'd be a really useful... I mean, I've laid slabs in the past, but I don't carry that sort of stuff around with me to just relay some slabs. I'm assuming it's just like a sand and cement mix with a bit of primer on the back of the slab. But usually when a slab comes loose and it wobbles, you can't just take it off, put some fresh cement under and stick it back on. Surely you have to take it off, dig out whatever's underneath it, whatever's failed before. Surely you've got to pull that all out and leave like enough of a crevice to be able to like rebed a new slab. Else it's going to sit proud, it's going to sit too high, isn't it? That's the bit that sounds a bit more difficult to me.
Today?
I've never tried it.
Morning, Cam. You okay, hon? Yes, mate. He's got to look at his pads. He's got the big boy pads on. All right. Again, trying to keep it as neat as possible. Got a few to relay in here, so just need raking out a bit more. And then, like I say, I've got to about here, so I'm going to rake out this bit so Cam can just plod on. Yes, a few need, the edge ones need relaying, so I'll crack on with that. This one. Oh.
When he says they need relaying, oh look, that's a bit of dot and dab in it. 6 little dots, push it down, and then it fails very quickly. If the rest of the patio has been laid like that, I'm not surprised it needs doing. Does anyone know if you'd use the same mix, the same like some the mortar mix? Would that be the same stuff that you'd use for the pointing as you'd use to like relay the slab, or do you do a different mix? Does anyone know?
Beautiful spot marks. But no, that's the today's agenda. Today's agenda, innit, Cam? That's lovely though. Can't moan about where we are. I haven't looked at this view yet.
What a beautiful place.
Beautiful. Let's get some pointing. Isn't that right, Cam? I was waiting for the thumb. Right, let's go.
He's got it on a little dustpan and brush there. So is that looks like a slightly damp mix, and he's sticking it in the joints and sort of doing a bit of that. But he's not got a oh bollocks. Oh, I've just broke my LEDs. Luca's LEDs. Damn it. He's not got like a sponge or a cloth or anything to wipe the excess off. So how's he not spreading it all over the place? Or is he spreading it all over the place and he just don't care? That is pretty much everywhere now, isn't it? So he's going to need to do something to clean that off at the end.
Tomorrow morning. Well, quite hard actually, so this will sort of lightly brush this off because so we got down to this bit, we just lightly brushed this off because well, we only really did it about 20 minutes ago. Well, finished it about 20 minutes ago. Stopped in there. So this is been brushed up slightly. Well, quite hard actually. So this will sort of be it. We'll probably give it another one tomorrow morning.
So yeah,
hard one.
So I've got to come back. You've got to come back and brush it again. I don't understand why you have to do multiple visits. Are you waiting for it to sort of set? Evening, mate. Been taking out pointing all day, sunburnt and exhausted. Oh, mate, it's graft, isn't it? It's absolute graft. Pointing requires knowing variables. Does it need to be permeable, or does it need to be solid and not move? Is there adequate drainage if you install non-permeable? Do you need to add plasticizer for flex? Yeah, I don't know what any of that means. I know about drainage. I mean, pressure washing has taught me a lot about drainage.
Just to sort of go around the slab, see what we can get up. Obviously, we're going to do a final clean on them as well, so that will get any sort of loose cement marks and stuff on them. But no, it's looking alright actually. So relayed a couple of the
so it's like a gradual, you're gradually like cleaning it as it slowly sets
around there,
I guess.
Around here is all done. This has been done.
Adverts. I'm looking for a different video now. Poor Cam's doing all the work.
We're pointing the patio today. We've laid approximately just over 32 square metres, and we're doing it old style here. And I'm not keen personally on.
That's odd, the way they've set those sandstones up on their side around the edge. I've not seen that before.
The brushing products. I have views on it, and I'm entitled to those views, just as the people that watch my videos and comment positive and negative, they're entitled to their views. As you can see, if you come closer, if you look just down there, young Reese, now, you'll be able to see the joint. There's no cement on these edges at all, and there's nothing there at all. It's how you put it in and how you get the mixture.
I mean, there is. He says there's no cement on the edges. There clearly is. But okay.
The mixture, the mix and the slump of the muck itself. You know, we've got a good mix there. We've got a bit of tiny bit of sharp in there to get the body together, but we have got a soft sand in it as well, and the right amount of cement. But you can see, and this will dry out nicely. And but what we do is that once we put the cement on this, we'll look at this area here. We've got about 12 to 15 square meters. We'll get the muck in here. We'll strike it up with a jointer, and then we'll go over and sponge. Everything will be sponged off completely. It will not leave any cement residue anywhere. And when we finish, we're able to pressure wash this patio and even pressure wash the joints without the fear of the cement joint coming out. And that's our opinion, and that's how we do it. And we've never had any complaints. We've had the odd loose slab.
Okay. Misleading video. How to point a patio step by step. I mean, you've explained it, but you haven't really showed us.
Go back and repoint it, but generally the pointing's really good.
Okay, thank you for wasting my time. But I have seen people go around with a wet sponge afterwards, which is what I was thinking would be the way to do it. My stepdad told me about one of these pointing guns.
Patio using a mortar gun.
Mortar gun.
Like this is a point master mortar gun. And it's quite simple. The cement just goes in the tube, and the plunger will just push it down. So the most important thing is having a decent mix. So
that looks beautiful.
If there's any water sitting on top of the mix, it's not going to work, because what will happen with the gun is you'll push it and it'll push the water out, and you just end up with solid, and it won't work. So it's got to be a good mix. So we've got this patio to point.
It's a big boy.
And we'll split it into sections so we're not doing too big a patch at the same time. And just try and put down enough.
I suppose one of the main concerns of doing it yourself like this is getting like a different colour.
You can use a small trowel than this because it might make less mess.
Like your first wheelbarrow
I load it
might be a slightly different mix and slightly different colour to the next.
and just slide it in.
Oh, that was satisfying. Listen to that. Oh.
And you want to fill it up so it's just over 3/4 full. Don't fill it right to the top because it'll just squash out when the plunger goes in. And when you're filling the joints, you're simply pushing down.
Ooh. Oh, that was satisfying.
You have to give it a little shake just to make sure there's any bits out of it. But it should stay relatively clear inside like that. Another important thing is every now and then give it a clean out in a bucket of water.
Gosh dang it. Only point as many joints as you can handle. If it's warm, it will go off quickly. I mean, he's got a full wheelbarrow of cement there. Is that different to... will that...
Fill in the joints. What you're after is to fill them up so they're sort of 5-10 mil higher than the slab.
Will that wheelbarrow take longer to set than the joints?
You don't want to underfill them because it's a nightmare to try and top them up afterwards. All we're looking for is...
Don't underfill them, he said.
Like that. Don't worry too much. It's overspill on the slab. The best thing to do is leave it go off a bit and then clean it off. If you clean it off when it's wet, it's just going to smudge and it makes more work. Don't be tempted to do that.
He said don't clean it off when it's wet. See, this is a step-by-step how-to.
And just keep working your way along like that.
This feels more like the proper way to do it, doesn't it?
And again, just put down what you.
Oh, you can keep turning the. You can keep turning the cement.
Weather is a big factor in how long it's going to take to go off.
I wonder if they'll clean it with brick cleaner.
In summer, it could take an hour. If you're starting out doing it, try not to do it in direct sunlight because it can be a bit of a nightmare. It's not ideal in direct sunlight, but sometimes you've got no choice, as with today. As the sun will be round on this later, it'll be really warm.
You should use a bonding on the back of the slabs.
Now, and we'll finish them up. There's no hard and fast rule about.
Is that like a primer?
It's just what it feels like. So we'll have a look at that after.
So he's going round. Oh. 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 And then what? Oh, here we go.
A small section just to show what it's like when it's too wet. It'll just smudge it and make a mess. You can just see it's streaking and bringing water to the surface, so it's too wet. Got to keep checking it and wait till it's dry enough. I'll show you what it's like when it's dry. They say that'll smudge, and any on the edge of the slab will smudge there. So we'll come back in a bit now.
Okay.
It's a bit drier and show you can finish it up. Right, while we wait for it to go off, it's important to keep the point master clean. So
the point master.
Bucket of water.
The point master 3000.
I've got these bits in the sun which are going off. So using the fat end, the jointing bar, and we're simply running through the slabs like that.
Oh yeah. That's more like it.
Then do the joint next to it.
That looks lovely, that does.
As you can see, there's no streaks or anything in it. It's just right, this is. And any mortar that's fallen onto the slab is dry enough that it's not going to stain it. There. And that can simply be brushed away then.
Okay. This guy loves his work.
You can find if some of the joints are a bit deeper, they may not have gone off so much. So
he loves his job, doesn't he? Nice and creamy mortar.
It's not an exact science sometimes. There's going to be bits that are dry.
Matt, why did you word it like that?
So
creamy.
Once you've got a joint like that, you can brush it off. Ideally you do a bit of a section then brush it all off. We're just going to show now.
He's going up and down. I only go down, like back towards myself. I don't go up and down, but maybe I'll try. Brushing, leave marks on the joint. It's too wet. Make sure to brush. Make sure the brush has soft bristles. Yeah, I'd be worried about brushing it all back into the joint that I've just made all lovely and neat. I mean, he's brushing it across the joints. And he's getting it all out, and it looks like it's leaving a nice, smooth joint. Oh, I do want to have a go at this. It looks like a lengthy process.
How to do it properly on one little section. So you can just brush it off like that. If you brush it and the brush is leaving brush marks in it, it's too wet to brush. So
right.
Again, don't be tempted to brush it too early, but it does need to be brushed off. And then all the sweepings as you go in can just be brushed along the slab and in little piles then, and they can be swept
This
up.
guy's doing it right. He is.
And when you come from one slab to the other, you'll end up with the joins. You want to just use the edge of the bar.
Oh, I like the way he did that.
Join out. And get it looking neat inside.
He pushed it in forward in the corner, in the T-junction. Yeah, this guy knows his stuff, doesn't he?
Again, brush it off as you go in.
The tip for pull and the heel for push. That's the method for back and forth. Oh, like rocking it like that.
It's a little bit wet, so if I brush that now, see if you can see that. Just see it leaving brush marks there, so that's too wet.
Yes, it is.
Whereas when we brush this dry one, it doesn't leave any marks.
Lovely. So what do you do if you've done it and it's too wet? What do you do if you've already got
Piles like this there.
stains on the patio?
Sweep them up.
See, that looks so posh now. That bit that he's done looks so nice.
Bucket or wheelbarrow nearby to put them in.
What do you do now if you have smudged it over the sides of the joints?
If you've pointed off a large area, you can use a big brush like this rather than a hand brush. You're a bit more confident doing it that way. It's a bit quicker. So again, it's the same sort of thing.
So this does. I mean, I thought repointing with the jointing compound took a long time. This
The odd joint you have to go over.
This is a much bigger investment of time.
Sadly.
I mean, how long is he going to spend on that patio just pointing it? This is not taking into account
You shouldn't have to go over many.
the grinding, the grinding out the joints beforehand, and then the pressure washing.
It's starting to go
I know this one's a fresh install.
Be able to tell if it starts going a bit really light in places, it's going off a bit quick, especially when you're in direct sunlight and windy like this. So you can just give it a light spray either with a spray bottle like this or a really light set on the hose. If you do it too much, it'll start to streak. Very lightly. It's better to do it little and often rather than low.
So you don't even though it's done now, you don't want it to set too quick.
There's no way you have to do it. Or an overcast day, you shouldn't have to do it. So in sunlight, you want to keep an eye on it because if it dries.
Probably going slower for the video. Yeah, but true, but it still looks like it's taken a long time, and it's a lot of prep. Setting the wheelbarrow up, actually mixing the mortar until you get a decent enough mix that you're sort of happy with. Like, it seems like a lot of work, and I'm sure you could justify charging more, but it's going to surely that's going to take way longer than just using the jointing compound. Marshall Town mortar bag. Has anyone tried the new X-Jet from Rutland Pumps? No, I haven't tried it. I'd be interested to give it a little testy though. A little testy. The resin is definitely quicker, but doesn't last long. No, I've heard the resin stuff is like 3 years. A day or so on repointing. Marshall Town mortar bag. Oh, it's like a pipe, like a piping bag, like a grouty bag. Yeah, similar sort of thing, isn't it? It's like a cake, like a when you know what I'm saying. That's a skilled tradesman. Anytime you use cement-based products, you need to keep them damp for as long as possible. If they dry too quickly, they can crack. Right. That's good to know. I mean, I was considering for a while. I don't know if I'd be able to pivot the business now, but I was considering for a while offering a professional, high-quality patio cleaning and repointing service, and maybe just booking 1 or 2 decent sized jobs per week, charging much more than I would normally charge to do the brushing jointing compound, and pivot the business towards very high quality patio restoration. Now that I've got the chemical knowledge and I can pressure wash and bring up an old patio almost like new. I mean, I'm pretty confident I can bring up an old patio like new every time, providing if I can't get all the black spots out on the day, I can certainly apply the biocide and it should look brand new within a couple of months. The next thing now for me to offer like a premium service would be to do like a traditional repointing instead of just using the brushing stuff. And the brushing stuff has got its place, but for those customers that specifically want something that's going to last, they don't have to replace it every 3 years, I think there's a place for it. I think if I pivoted and just did that service or just advertised that service, I don't know, it could be if you want high quality pointing that looks like traditional pointing, you want to learn to use flow point. I have seen flow point. That's even scarier to me. Flow point just seems like it just seems very risky. And depending on how, like, I don't think you could use flow point on all patios. Like if you've got a very porous old concrete that's lost its coating and you try to use flow point on that, it's probably just going to absorb into all the pores and you'll never get it out of the patio. But I suppose you pressure wash it afterwards anyway, don't you? So maybe you would, I don't know. How do you apply biocide? That now sounds a little dumb. Just placed a £300 order off Pure Seal using your links. Oh, thank you, Manny. Not a dumb question at all. You can apply it through a garden sprayer if you're happy to do it. Like, it's kind of slow, but it's definitely doable. I apply biocide through my gardener backpack, this one here, and the water-fed brush or water-fed pole. I don't brush it in, but I've got 2 50-degree fan jets in that brush, spread out like that, and it sort of it sprays really nice and evenly. And so I'm not brushing it into the floor or into the surface or the roof or whatever. I'm just hovering it slightly above. And it's just like a little 12-volt pump, gardener backpack. 20-to-1 for ground surfaces for this back 50 from Pure Seal. Sorry, 20-to-1 for roofs and 30-to-1 for ground surfaces. Some people brush it into the roof. I find much more control. It's harder on your back, but I find much more control and a much more even application if I'm hovering just above and applying it like that, like a spray. Or you could just use a pump sprayer. You could literally just pump it up and use like a weed sprayer. It's the flow point is fine as long as you have your pressure washer nearby. I'd be so scared of it just being in between and just pressure washing it all back out again, like not letting it set enough, because there's like a tipping point, isn't there? You apply it and it's super wet, and then it gradually starts to dry, and that's where you want to start pressure washing it. But if you leave it too long, it dries, and you could potentially ruin the whole patio. So it's like, I don't want to pressure wash it when it's too wet, and I don't want to do it when it's too dry. It's got to be like just in between. So that bit scares me. That's my understanding anyway. I might be wrong. Sorry, Smart. I'm back from earlier. I mentioned about the quote with the carp. Welcome back. What was the name of that cleaner you brought up? I couldn't even remember the website. It's Pure Seal. So it's this Pure Seal website, and it's called Enviro Clean Pro, I believe. I'm not even on the screen, am I? Enviro. No, it's not called Enviro Clean. It's called Eco Safe Wash or something. Safe Clean Eco. There you go. Sorry. Going to bed ready for tomorrow. Have a good rest of your stream. Thank you, Dauntless. Thanks for popping in, saying hello, contributing. Shane is typing in general chat to you because he can't type in YouTube chat. Really? A couple of people have said that. Got module 1 to do this week. You're still looking forward to it. This would be good for your compound jointing. This would be good for your compound jointing. To like wet it as it's being oh, everyone's saying it. You mean to like wet the jointing compound as you're brushing it in? That's not a bad idea. I wonder if like that brush would be, yeah, it would, wouldn't it? I wonder if the brush would be stiff enough. Oh, that's annoying. Semi-dry mix doesn't stain. Pointing isn't quick at all, especially if you can't get your fingers in the joints. 2 sand, 1 sharp, 1 cement. What sort of sand? Grout bag better than forever filling your mortar gun. Check your WhatsApp. Thank you, Matt. I'll check my WhatsApp. I was also asked to check my Instagram earlier, actually. I'll check that first. George says, do you like my pole? Look at the size of that. That is a long pole, and that looks super stiff. G. Williams window cleaning. That's a cool looking van as well. That is impressively stiff considering how long that pole is. I'd like for you to send me more pictures of your big stiff pole in the future. Thank you for that. WhatsApp. By the way, during the week, I'm a hard landscaper. You don't need that brush for the compound jointing, just a semi-hard broom, and keep the compound wet. We use Easy Joint. I didn't like the... oh, which one didn't I like? I think the Easy Joint... Yeah, the Easy Joint that I bought, like 3 out of 5 of the boxes were hard. It was like rock solid, because the bags were obviously perforated. Grout bag is miles quicker. Let's have a look at this video. Easy Joint is resin based because it was old stock, you reckon? So I like the jointed stuff. I also like the pure the screw fix, no nonsense stuff as well. The Sicker stuff's not bad, but people say it's rubbish. But I never had any problems with the Sicker stuff. Maybe it just doesn't last as long. I don't know. Ooh, what's that he's putting in there? Looks like drugs. A super plasticizer in a bucket. Mixing it good. Oh, that looks so easy, doesn't it? That looks so easy. So is the plasticizer helping it come out of this bag much smoother and more controlled, rather than it sort of clumping up and separating? I can imagine without the plasticizer you might be separating the water and the sand mix. I bet the plasticizer sort of holds everything together and keeps it supple. That's a gross word, that is, supple. That Safe Clean Eco is very expensive for only 5 litres. Didn't look super concentrated either. I think you probably dilute it like a biocide. So you probably heavily dilute it, like maybe 10 or 20 to 1. I can imagine. He's getting the hang of it now, isn't he? So obviously, I'm not going to be repointing walls, but this would work just as good on a patio, I'd imagine. I wonder how long these grouting bags last. Oh, you didn't show us the best bit. I like it. It's like a carry-on film on here tonight. Why? What do you mean? What's going on? When spraying biocide, do you saturate the area or just a light mist? I saturate the area because I want it to absorb and I want it to coat everything. I don't want it to evaporate and dry before it gets a chance to absorb. So yeah, I saturate everything. The resin will last a decent time if it's put in deep and pressed in. Yeah, so what we do with the jointing compound is brush it in, compress it with the pointing tool, and then brush over it again and like fill the joints up again. And that seems to, you know, fill the joint right to the bottom, and it's compressed hard as well. And then we give it a soft brush to like get that nice finish. This is tonight's video if anyone hasn't had a chance to have a look yet. Almost an hour long this video is. So this is us on Sunday. Sunday just gone. I mean, and this stuff, you're doing it in stages. You're wetting everything, putting it in like almost like a slurry, and then compacting it, and then waiting for it to sort of dry off so that you can give it a soft brush. How can I remove old sealer? What sort of sealer is it, James? Is it like water-based, like acrylic sealer? Is it like a solvent-based, like concrete sealer, for example? Because there's different methods. To be honest, I don't know how to remove water-based block paving sealer. I don't know what the solution for that would be. Paver sealer remover. Both solvent and water-based sealers. So I know Pure Seal have got a product called Rapid Strip Pro. I believe it's solvent sealer in printed concrete. Okay. Yeah, so it'd be like a rapid strip job then. It's very, very messy. Dangerous stuff. And from what I've heard, can be a bit of a ball ache. Powerful and effective adhesive and resin remover. Removes bitumen, wax, stubborn, polished and other difficult contaminants. Removes paint. Oh, you can use it on decking. I would not have thought you could use it on decking. I think it's this one. Enviro strip. I don't know if they've got a category for like sealer removers. Coating paint sealer removal. They have, of course they have. So so what are you trying to do with this imprinted concrete? Why are you trying to remove the old sealer? Because if it's a concrete sealer on pattern imprinted concrete, it should probably stay there. You can add to it or re-emulsify it. If it's failed and it's turned white, you can apply xylene and it'll sort of re-emulsify. And when it dries again, it will help to sort of clear that white. Or you can put more concrete sealer over the top of it, and because it contains xylene, again, it will re-emulsify. I'm not sure why you'd want to strip concrete sealer from patterning imprinted concrete. You should just be able to. Another company jet washed it and it's become faded and patchy, and then the customer wants it looking new. Okay, so when it's wet, does it still look faded, or does the color still look that it is? Right, I've explained the carry-on film. Big long stiff ones. Oh, I see what you're saying. So have a look on Smart Seal concrete sealing. There's a very specific video. It's not that one. It's like an expert's guide. This one. This expert's guide. It tells you exactly what to look out for, whether you need to do like a tint additive, or whether you just go over it with a clear sealer. And a lot of the time, if it's just faded, so this grey drive that he's sealing now, he just puts a clear sealer on it, and because it's still got the colour pigment in the blocks or in a concrete, the sealer just enhances it and makes it look sort of new again. So I thoroughly recommend watching this 23-minute long video from Smart Seal, pattern imprinted concrete sealing and colouring. You'll learn a hell of a lot from watching this video, because there's a very, very good chance, I'd say there's a strong chance, 90% chance, that you won't have to strip it. You can just add to it, either re-emulsify it with xylene or just add more sealer on top. Victoria, welcome. Definitely watch that video. That drive looks the same as my customers. Awesome. There you go. You might have saved yourself a lot of hassle there. Do you apply it then jet wash it off? The rapid strip stuff, yes, but it's a horrible job, so I've heard. I've got block paving job coming up and the customer has asked me to seal it. First time for me. What's the going price to seal and what sealer do you use? Spencer, how long have you been pressure washing? Night Lindsay, thanks for watching. No worries, James. Spencer, have a look at my tool. I don't think I've ever said that. Have a look at my tool. And have a play around with these figures here. So punch in your area and then click on this, change your base price for cleaning, whatever your base price normally is. Click on sealing and then type in the cost of your sealer per litre, depending on which one you're looking at. The coverage as described in the description on the website, as described in the description. It's likely that if it's block paving, if you want to set the sand between the joints, you're probably going to need 2 or more coats, at least 2 coats. And then you can add a little bit of labour to apply the sealer if you want to, per square metre. And this will work out exactly how much sealer you need, precisely roughly how much sealer you need. And it will work out the cost of the sealer as well. So you can sort of put a quote together based on these figures, but you'll need to get the figures from the website that you intend on buying the sealer from, basically. What's your standard charge for sealing? Play around with my tool. It depends on what surface it is, honestly. Do you know what? One of my go-to sealers is, again, Screwfix. Because it's local, it's reasonably priced, and if I buy too many, I can take them back. If I don't buy enough, it's only around the corner and I can go and collect some more, instead of having to wait a couple of days for more to be delivered. It's almost like blue. When you spray it on, it goes like bluey white, so you can very clearly see where you've done. And then it dries clear. And I do 2 coats of this generally. And that's enough to set the sand hard between the joints. It's water based, so it's a little bit more forgiving than the solvent based stuff. So we're looking at £23. So £23 divided by 5 litres is £4.6 per litre. Oh, 4.6. And then the coverage, does it say coverage? Probably doesn't, does it? Q&As. How can I remove this from my papers as it has dried white? My papers or pavers? Approximately 5 meters squared per litre, which is about right for most sealers. So around about 5 meters squared. Which is why I've set it as the default on smelt.club. So based on this, for 50 square meters, I'm going to need 20 litres of sealer to do 2 coats. And it's going to cost me £92 in sealer. Are we still live then? Yes, yeah, we're still live. I'm answering your question. What do you mean? Yeah. So find the sealer that you like. This is sort of my go-to now for block paving, just because it's convenient. If I'm doing something a little bit more specialist, like the pattern imprinted concrete that you mentioned, let's have a look at the one I did recently. By the way, everything I'm saying tonight is all based off of my own experience. I've only been doing this for about 3 years. I'm not a professional. I just enjoy what I do. So take my advice with a pinch of salt. You might get a different answer somewhere else. So this is the no-nonsense screw fix stuff. You can sort of see it in the background. My sprayer was clogged up from last year, so I've had to use, again, like a screw fix pump sprayer. Took a while, took a long time, but I modified it with a pressure washer, 25-degree nozzle, and it worked well. So that was quite a big area, really, that drive, to use a little pump sprayer. To do 2 coats, it was quite a lot of work, but got there in the end. I'm just looking for the pattern imprinted concrete I did recently, so you can get an idea of what it looks like when it's been pressure washed, sort of how faded it can look after a few years. So this is my sprayer, and I've had to sort of strip it apart because I've allowed sort of like concrete sealer to dry inside of it. Where is this job? So I sealed that one. That's it sealed. That's it still sort of wet with sealer. So that's it dry with just the kiln dried sand, and then I've gone over it with 2 coats of sealer, and that's how it looks. It does sort of deepen and enrich the colour, and then when it dries fully, it will leave like a slightly matte sheen. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow as always. Take care, buddy. No worries, Greg. Thanks very much. What about if you seal Indian sandstone patio and the sealer fails? Again, depends what sort of sealer it is. If it's water-based, you might have to strip it. If it's solvent-based, like if it's got xylene in it, you might be able to re-emulsify, but it depends which sealer it is. What's your going rate for sealing block paving? I've just showed you, mate. It's here. So in total, if I want to do any more labour than that, which I don't know, based on 50 square meters, it's going to take me, well, if I'm resanding as well, let's just click the resanding. So it's around about £7.50 per square meter, based on this particular sealer, based on this product. If I'm doing a different sealer that's more expensive that I need to order in, it'll be more expensive. I'm trying to find this pattern imprinted concrete, and it's winding me up. Is it really this long ago? I don't think I was sealing this early in the year, was I? Here we go. So this is concrete sealer. So there's the before picture. That's after I've pressure washed it, chemically treated it. It's very, very faded. But actually, all the colour is still there. So if you wet it and the colour still looks good, then that's how it's going to look when it's sealed. So I proceeded to seal it, and it's really brought the colour back. It's now shiny instead of sort of white. So On this occasion I used the Smart Seal concrete sealer. And so you can see it does make a huge difference, and because it was previously sealed with concrete sealer, which is xylene based, when you apply more concrete sealer over the top of it, it adheres and it re-emulsifies and bonds to the original one that was there before. So there's no colour pigment in this. I haven't added any colour. I've just refreshed it with fresh sealer, and it's just as if the concrete's had water poured over the top of it. It just makes it look posher. So that was before cleaning. That's after. Before. And then that's the finished product. It's a risky game though, concrete sealer. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. If it's too hot, it'll bubble and blister and turn white. If it's too wet, if there's too much moisture in the concrete, it will turn white and it will bloom. Does that sealer make it very slippy afterwards when it rains? It can do, but you can get an anti-slip like grain, like a pigment anti-slip additive that you mix in, but you always do it on the last coat. So I think I put two coats on this. So the first coat would just be sealer, and the second coat you'd mix in the anti-slip additive and then apply the sealer. How much do you think is a reasonable price to charge per square meter starting off with? Are we talking about cleaning? The reason I got into the conversation about sealing is I'd recommend to anyone, don't seal anything unless it's tarmac. Don't seal anything within the first 12 months of learning to pressure wash. Make sure you can get good cleaning results first before you decide to seal anything, because if you're sealing over bad results, you're sealing in those bad results and like potential black spots, or if you're not getting all the weeds out when you're pressure washing, or if the quality of your resanding isn't good enough to reseal over the top. Some people, professionals, you'll see they're dusting sand over the surface, giving it a quick tickle and calling it a day, and it still looks like a beach. And if that's the results you're producing, you can't seal over the top of that. You need to spend so much more time brushing the excess sand off, making sure all the joints are full, making sure all the weeds are gone, all the black spots are gone. And you're not going to achieve those sort of perfect results if you've only just started. And then, if you want to introduce the added risk of sealing over the top of it, that's a whole separate body of knowledge that you've got to learn to produce good sealing results. So I feel like just like take one thing at a time. You're going to get so many inquiries about sealing, and it's very difficult to say, I'm sorry, I don't offer that service yet, or I don't offer that service. It's going to be very tempting to take every sealing job that comes your way and just sort of wing it, but I just tread very carefully because there's so much that can go wrong. I think I'd recommend doing 12 months of pressure washing, scrub up on your chemical knowledge, and excuse the pun, and just make sure you can achieve good results. Thanks for all the likes on the stream, by the way. I can see the love hearts and the little emojis just popping off. Can you quickly check for me if you type in Drive Tech TFR, if the blue one that comes up is the same as what you use? It is, yeah. Yeah, it is. Let's have a look. Just a triple check. That's the exact one. It's a caustic TFR, so you do have to be careful on exposed metal. It will corrode exposed metal. You don't really want to get it in your skin. On your skin. What's the right temperature to seal then? When it comes to concrete sealer, I believe the ground temperature needs to be less than 22 degrees. So direct sunlight can like ruin it. If you're sealing in direct sunlight and it's hot, that can completely. I mean, with that job that I was doing, you can't see in the pictures. What is this song? You can't see in the photos, but if I were to zoom in, there were certain joints. See, this is an example. So before, when this was done last time, you see how these joints have blistered and it's gone white and flaky. That's what mine was doing. When I reapplied this sealer, I was in direct sunlight and the joints started literally bubbling. I saw bubbles forming in the joints. And so I had to go over the whole thing with a brush to try and re-emulsify it and get rid of all these bubbles, because it pulls in the joints. When you're going over it with like a brush or a roller, you're leaving more excess in the joints, and if the sun heats that up, it's gonna like blister it. So you want to do it like early in the morning or late afternoon when it's not as hot. So there's so many variables. Gonna order some now for conservatory roofs plus Synergy Pro. Awesome. Make sure you use my my link, please. Is the DriveTech TFR now on the GSF website? No, it's on eBay. I've covered everything that I wanted to cover tonight. Does anyone have any other questions before I head off? We've been going for almost 3 hours now. What sealer do you recommend for block paving? Are you watching the same stream? I'm not being a knobhead, but you're asking I wonder if you're a little bit further behind. You're asking questions that we've just this minute covered. But the sealer that I recommend, or that I use, is the bloody Screwfix no nonsense patio sealer. 2 coats of that should be enough to solidify the joints, solidify the sand. Tarmac cleaning regarding Adam's question. I'm lost, Matt. What do you mean? I think tarmac sealing is much easier, much more forgiving, much less that can go wrong. If you can paint, if you can paint a bedroom wall, you can do tarmac sealing. The cement stain. Oh yeah. Thank you. Chemical chat. Here we go. So for example, one like this, if it's covered in cement stains and pressure washing it doesn't get everything off, you could make this driveway look brand new by applying tarmac sealer, and it would cover all the nasty stains. But I would suggest with this one, it looks like the majority of it is sort of surface dust and like you said, watered down cement. It looks like someone's had a go at pressure washing it there. I thought that was a shadow, but it's not. I think someone's had a go at pressure washing it because that drain's wet. Clearly sort of given up halfway. But a surface cleaner on that, I'm sure would bring most of it up really well. The thing you've got to really do with tarmac is rinse it really well, because it might look like you've rinsed it because everything's dark and wet, but as soon as it dries, it shows all those bits of sand or dust that you've left behind and you've not rinsed very well. I think he actually said he's yeah, it will look clean when done, but then shit when it dries again. Yeah. But I'd say, like, based on that, where someone's attempted it with a pressure washer, it's clearly coming away. And I don't think it's that thick. I think you'd get most of that up with a pressure washer, with a surface cleaner. Does look pretty bad. Is that before and after? Yeah, it is. So that's really caked on there. And then they've got a little bit of it off by the looks of it. I don't know, can't tell. That was super educational. Thank you, and thank you. Have a good night all. Oh, Alberto, thanks for watching. Sealer will cover it basically like paint for tarmac. Yeah, get the majority of it off with I mean, I think it even says on the Smart Seal website about it will cover like nasty cement stains and stuff. Covers unsightly cement and oil stains. And this stuff's really thick. I've used a bunch of different types of tarmac sealer. I've used this one, which is thick boy gloopy. And I've also used the Thompson's tarmac sealer as well. This stuff. This is super thin, but it does a very similar job. I can't speak for like which one's better or which one lasts longer or what, but this one's thick, this one's thin. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I think this one's water-based. Also, if anyone's ordering from Smart Seal, you can make a business account. I think I saved about £20 on my order. So I've just ordered some, for this week's video, I've just ordered some Block Magic. And it's this is for recolouring block paving, which I'm very excited to try. Scared, but excited. This is different to like a masonry paint, because a masonry paint will just flake off. But this actually absorbs into the concrete. So I don't think you can use it on clay, but this is more of like a concrete sealer. Look at that. That's amazing, isn't it? I wouldn't have put the white kiln dried sand there. That doesn't look great, personally. I'm going to pick up tomorrow some of the poly sweep jointing sand, Nexus poly sweep, because they do the you can get the grey, the silver grey polymetric paving sand that sets hard. And there's a local like landscaping place that has got a whole palette of this stuff in grey, which is what I want. So I'm doing a grey, I said it in the video, I'm doing a grey driveway with like a black border, and then I'm going to sweep in some grey hard setting sand as well. I think that's going to be like a really good combination. Thank you, smart boy. No worries, Spencer. No worries. I think I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to play a little advert, if you don't mind sticking around to watch that. If you want to become a member of this Discord, where you'll get help and advice on a daily basis, if you've got any questions like that. Lots of people that'll be able to help you out. We've got all different sections on the side here for marketing, how to identify certain surfaces. People post their pictures and we try and help them figure out what the stone is and what the best method of cleaning would be. Help out each other with quotes and pricing. We've got guides, lots of different guides here for nozzle charts and sodium hypochlorite. I've actually got a guide, my full pricing breakdown. So if you want to know what I charge for every single service, you can get access to the Discord. Good stream, grouty smelty. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a wonderful evening. See you in a bit. Where's my advert gone? I've moved my advert. I need to... Damn it. I need to reattach my advert. Give me just a second. I want to do that now. 2 seconds. Now these videos take a lot of time and effort to film and edit on top of trying to run a successful pressure washing business. If you find any of the information in my videos useful, then I'd like for you to consider becoming a paid member of the channel. Circle members and above will get access to my private Discord for members only, where you can pretty much get a hold of me 24 hours a day for inspiration, technical help, marketing advice, or just a general chat. I post pictures and videos that you won't see on any of my other socials. You'll be the first to hear about giveaways, special offers and announcements, and it's just generally a nice place full of like-minded people who are all heading towards similar goals. We've got various different experience levels. We've got a few professionals in the chat as well. If you want to push your business, in my opinion, this is the place to be. We also have 2 other membership tiers. One is just to show a bit of support for the channel, and the other one is for boosted members, which will not only give you access to the private Discord, but also loads of high quality promotional images for you to start your business. I know what it's like when you're ready to get going, but you don't have any before and after pictures to put on your leaflets. At the moment, there's about 150 images that you can use for pretty much whatever you like, and my intention is to constantly update these over the next few years with all of my before and afters that have helped promote my business. Last thing before I let you go, new videos come out every Monday night at 5:30, and then I go live at 7:30 to chat to you guys and answer as many questions as possible. We do live quotes for real customers and just generally keep up to date with everything going on in the pressure washing world. Thanks for watching. Back to the video.